It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. For tonight's game, we'll be watching the Golden State Warriors as they go up against the Los Angeles Clippers. Checking out the Clippers, they've got a tough task ahead of them, having to open the season in front of a hostile crowd that's been waiting all summer for this game. But if they can embrace playing the role of spoiler, getting a win here tonight would be all the more sweet. Guys, we know about the accolades.
Let's meet the starting lineup for the visiting Los Angeles Clippers. At small forward, S.Jackson. At shooting guard, J.J.Reddick. At center, D.Jordan. At the other forward position, B.Griffin. At the other guard position, C.Paul. The head coach of the visiting team is A.Rivers.
Welcome, everyone. It's time for NBA action, coming to you live on this Saturday night. Our broadcast team tonight, on one side, Greg Anthony. On the other side, Steve Smith. And on the sideline, David Aldridge. I'm Kevin Harlan. It's all about the Western Conference. That's where the action is today as the Golden State Warriors get ready to battle. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad. Last year was a lopsided affair as they were able to take all 4 games in the series, earning the sweep.
And they swept the season series against this group last season. Pretty impressive stuff.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Griffin and Jordan, the front court. Veteran backcourt with CP3 and Reddick at the 1 and the 2. And it's Jackson and at the small forward. Now here's Thompson following the shot by C.Paul. Griffin with some nice D. And we all know B.Griffin, Steve, is a scoring forward, but he has a very well-rounded game. Besides being an excellent ball handler, he is also one of the best passing bigs in the NBA.
I agree. He's done a nice job of improving in that area, being able to pass out of the post, pass off the dribble, has a great sense of timing, and could put a pass exactly where he wants.
And so here is Golden State coming into this having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still their ability to stay composed was impressive.
When things come too easy, it's easy to lose focus, but they held each other accountable and played hard.
And that one's good, Barnes.
Silky smooth J from Barnes. The defense was on him, but he just uses his picture-perfect form and outstanding reach to get the job done.
Now here's Paul. "17-foot shot on the way." And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Outside Curry. Lets it go with a three. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist.
Stephen Curry is great off the dribble, but he also is good at the catch and shoot.
And Reddick kicks to Paul. Shoots over Curry. The shot's good from Paul.
He has great instincts on the offensive end. He's tough to contain.
The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Curry dishes to Bogut. Curry against Paul. Pass to Green. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on B.Griffin. You know, for all the great things that Draymond Green does on the basketball floor, perhaps his greatest asset, Steve, is his ability to be a leader. Other MVPs and All-Stars will defer to him to set up the defense and get going on offense.
You know, Kevin, that's what we do at Michigan State. That's the kind of player and leader that Draymond has been his whole career. Doesn't care about stats, only cares about winning. Willing to step up and take the big shot as well.
The first one falls.
And the former Spartan Green continued to prove his role over time. A forward-thinking player who keeps adding to his game.
Both free throws good from Green.
And Draymond Green just does so many things well on the basketball floor. But to me, above all else, he really is an elite defender who allows this team to be creative with their lineups. You can just put him on any player at any position and feel comfortable with his impact.
He was wide open. Reason why? Stephen Curry is a fantastic player who quickly got it over to his teammate.
Clippers have gone 1 of 3 for the field to start this one so far. We'll go to David Aldridge, who spoke with head coach A.Rivers. What's the news, David?
Kevin, I asked him what he thought the key factors would be coming into this game, and he said, well, our length and shot blocking should help. It gives offenses something to think about when they come inside. And that hesitation can be a game changer. We'll see if that holds true tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
Thanks very much, David. Did you guys see this game playing out as a defensive battle?
If they get their way, it will be. They're coming in with the idea that they can win this game with their defense.
Well, if they've done it before, sounds like their goal is the same as always. Cause as many problems as possible with their D and never let up at that end of the floor.
That free throw good from Thompson. And with Green, it just seems that as long as he's going to be in the league, he'll be in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. Draymond Greg has been that dominant on that end of the floor.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And one thing's for certain, you don't want to go at him when you need a bucket. Use it as a challenge, almost an insult if a guy wants to attack him. And he just has a knack for making winning plays on the defensive side of the floor.
Now here's Reddick, picked by Griffin. Reddick with it, picked up by Thompson. There's a screen. Here's Jackson. Offensive struggles continue, missing again.
You know, the offense has just looked out of sync. Only 1 of 5 from the field.
The kick out to Barnes. Curry against Paul. Outside, Green. Thompson passes to Green. Clock at 4. Golden State needs to get off a shot. Worked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. Clippers trail by 10. Right side, Griffin. And that's going to be a travel. And the initial rules for the NBA include that 6 personal fouls is the magic number before you're done for the game. It's been this way since, who can remember. But do you think 6 is the right number, Steve, for fouls? Or would you like to see them raise or lower it?
I definitely wouldn't want to see them raise it. I think 7 will be too much. Maybe if they lower it, that's a possibility. But right now I think it's 6. Maybe 5, or maybe you can experiment during some preseason games or in summer league. But I think 6 should be the maximum.
Curry kicks to Thompson. The screen from Thompson. Bogut sets a screen for Thompson. A second chance effort. Good D by Jordan.
He likes to work that in-between area, upset with himself that he couldn't connect.
And J.Jordan throws it down.
And DeAndre is one of the best in the business in that situation. You let him sneak in behind you, and you're going to pay.
It was beautiful the first time, but Under Armour showing us the replay of that tremendous alley-oop again. Another unleash chaos moment. Barnes dishes to Kerr. Green, the screen. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Paul kicks to Jordan. Outside Jackson. Lets the 3 fly. Warriors with the rebound. Well, the NBA, we know, has incredible competition. And more times than not, it's more serious than anything else, and you're so locked in. But, Steve, right, there are moments of levity that everybody can kind of laugh at, correct?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think the one thing is having a teammate go to that free throw line, shooting an air ball, and him glancing over at the bench. And, nobody wants to laugh at times. But depending on the game, you just bust out laughing, and then he goes up there and shoots it really hard to make sure he doesn't have an air ball. And then the one when you're passing the basketball and the teammate is not looking and you catch him right in the choppers. That's the one everybody laughs about the most.
How about you personally? Any moment that either you were laughing or people were laughing at something that happened to you on the floor?
I had this one. We call it a flat tire, Kevin. I was led. Teammate Brevin and I threw it out, and I couldn't stop, and my legs wobbled. I fell, I caught it, and went out of bounds. That's the one I think for me was the funniest. It just wasn't funny when it happened.
Curry wide open, offline with his 3.
Wow, and this is his range. Maybe he was too wide open.
Here's Jackson. Drains it from 17 feet out.
Crafty move. He recognizes the size disadvantage, and the mid-range is close enough.
Right. No reason to take it all the way to the rack. Instead, take what the defense allows.
Now here's Thompson. 14 points from him the last game against Houston. Shoots over Reddick, and a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And it's 8 points for Klay Thompson.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to summon up a little more sense of urgency.
And the Clippers call time here.
When you watch the Warriors play, their offense is a work of art. There's so much player movement and passing, it's impossible to cover. And the shooting they have, it just puts it over the top.
Different look here for the Warriors. Ezeli's checked in for Bogut. Lee comes in for Green. Iguodala. He's checked in for Barnes. And I.Clark subbed in for Klay Thompson. And then for Los Angeles, E.Udoh's checked in for J.Jordan. Barnes comes in for Steven Jackson. And it's Crawford in for J.J.Reddick. And, Steve, the common mistake fans have with the Warriors is thinking they only make threes to score. It's a combination of a lot of things, and I think it just overwhelms defenders.
One thing that comes to mind to me is they pick out the Warriors in mismatches or lose a defender on great screens. They're amazing at that. They force defenders to make a ton of split-second decisions. One mistake, and it's easy for them to score.
Now here's Paul after the miss from Stephen Curry.
No other way to put it. Just a rough quarter in terms of scoring. He has not been helping at all.
And I'll tell you, Chris Paul is sneaky this way. He has great timing.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be an over-the-back call here.
Yeah, a little too physical on that play. Tries to climb over the top of him and gets whistled for it.
A real easy call. I know you want to attack the glass, generate second chance opportunities, but you also have to pick your spots.
Oh, Griffin in position, trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it.
They need to start taking care of the basketball. Careless play since the opening tip. And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Well, the two go hand in hand. Matching your strategy to your personnel is key.
.157 left to play in the first.
I'll tell you, he just hasn't been able to get it done on the offensive end. It's kind of dragged down the team.
And that one's good by Clark.
I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
It's early, but they have taken full control of this game, and the fans here, they know it.
They set the pick. Paul kicks to E.Udoh. Crawford outside. Shot clock at 6. And again, no good by the Clippers.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Griffin kicks to E.Udoh. Crawford outside. Dishes to Griffin. Shot to stop the run, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And Blake Griffin, a free agent this past summer, ended up staying with the Clippers while others departed.
Yeah, you thought he might be gone after CP3 left, but Griffin enjoyed the team, and they offered him a huge contract. You felt as though he flew under the radar a bit in free agency, due maybe to his history of injuries.
Blake Griffin, the former Oklahoma Sooner, has done a nice job in this league. We understood his athleticism coming out of college, but he's added so much to his game.
Now here's A.Ezeli. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. And taken away by Paul. Barnes trying to free himself up, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
At his size, Chris Paul is used to getting contact on his shots. He has really spent a lot of time learning how to finish despite getting bodied.
E.Udoh, and a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Curry's got 6 assists here tonight. Clippers trail by 16. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Griffin passes to Paul. A three-pointer, no good.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Outside Curry. A.Ezeli, a screen. Gets it off. And it's in. Wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
What a three at the horn as they end the quarter on a high note.
A little joke right at the buzzer.
And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. Warriors lead by 19. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range. He told us about his comfort stretching the floor.
Anywhere 5-6 feet outside that three-point line, if I have a dribble, if I catch and shoot, if I have a good look, I think Coach will allow me to take that shot. And it's tough to guard, especially when you see a couple go in. That basket gets a lot bigger.
I was going to say, Greg, how big must that hoop look to Steph Curry? And tough to guard might be the understatement of the day.
I mean, he is just an insanely great shooter. I mean, arguably, I don't think there's an argument. He's the best shooter in the world. The argument is whether or not he's the best shooter ever. And listen, I can imagine there's very few times that Coach Kerr is not going to allow this splash brother to let her rip.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a very convincing performance here from the Warriors so far.
So far, they've been active, scoring the basketball, built up a little lead here, and looking good.
The play calling has been perfect, backed up by beautiful execution. They've certainly captured the moment in that first quarter.
And the Clippers, looking at who they've got, we've got Crawford. Davis is out there with Jordan. Then there's J.J.Reddick, and it's Jackson in at the small forward position. No good on the free throw.
And the Clippers are known as a high wire act, and rightfully so with their stars. This team is also one that can at times lock it down defensively. I don't think they get enough credit for what they do on that side of the ball.
And he sinks the second. The Clippers not a team known for their defense, but quite often the last few years, it's been the deciding factor for them in games.
Yeah, and I think it starts with the pressure they place on ball handlers. They can throw double teams or pick up far out from the hoop. They've got shot blocking inside to erase mistakes as well.
And the dunk by Barnes.
Exceptional work from Barnes. The defense was aggressive with him, but he is so accomplished at finding ways to get the job done around them.
Jackson kicks to Crawford. Crawford missing again.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Back to Thompson. Green inside. He's guarded by Davis. But when I look back at the career of K.Thompson, you can't help but notice how much he's improved. Every season, Steve, he comes back with a new tool to score on offense and always has been strong, but even getting better on defense.
You know, you love the greats. They can score at all three levels. He had the mid-range and obviously the three ball, but he is scoring now in the paint off the drive because of his improved ball handling, and he posts up extremely well for a guard. I love what he's brought to his game offensively.
And with the zone defenses the league allows right now, motion offense really becoming a key to efficient scoring, it seems, Steve. Do you like that trend?
I do, because it's really hard. They're taking advantages of the rules. Zone defense is hard to be able to stop teams that really move without the basketball. I would love for the league to go back to where a guy can have just a touch or a balance of touching somebody, because being able to guard somebody without touching at all, that is very hard.
I think most players would agree with you.
You just want to be able to touch to get a little balance.
Sure. The first free throw is good. The NBA has so many incredible ball handlers in the league right now, Steve. You think of guys like Kyrie Irving, maybe the best handle that I've ever seen, and certainly Steph Curry. But Jamal Crawford is right up there with the best of them. He plays with the ball on a string.
Yeah, you're totally right. Jamal Crawford, longevity-wise and tricks of the trade when handling the basketball, he can embarrass you. Jamal Crawford loves to use his handles, and he's a showman out there.
Clippers trail by 21. Pops it up for Jordan. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession. And where the shot's been coming from tonight, here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for Los Angeles.
And when you're riding on the upper end of the conference like these guys are, you usually have an excellent distribution of how and where you get your points. And these guys have a very effective offense, getting it done inside, outside, and from mid-range.
Nobody near Barnes. And it's good assisting on the play with Livingston.
I love that play for Barnes. Coming off the screen with this athleticism, hard for the D to recover.
And the Clippers call time here.
And as great as the Warriors are on offense, the best team in the league on that end last year, their defense is just as good. Had the #1 defense last season. To have the top offense and defense explains why they're so dominant.
Now here's Crawford. He's got 5. Shoots over Livingston. Los Angeles with another miss.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Misses from close range. And for the Warriors, the defense, Steve, has been the underrated strong point of the team for so long. They just bother shots and make life difficult for opposing teams.
They do. They have great personnel, and they have the ability to switch on defense. Players are so versatile with who they can guard. The communication is excellent, and the rotation on point.
Here's Thompson. Clippers able to drain the 3. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Thompson's got 10 points.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Jackson with it. Guarded now by Barnes. The feed now to Reddick. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Spates sets a screen. That's a 2 from Barnes. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J.
His temperature is rising. I mean, it is rising.
Crawford dishes to Davis. Reddick up top. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Reddick's got his second basket of the game.
Sometimes there's nothing you can do to stop Reddick. He'll nail those even if you're all over him.
Here's Thompson. Doesn't go that time. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again.
It's been a frustrating quarter for him shooting the basketball. He just has to make sure he's taking good shots.
Now here's Livingston, and that one's good. Barnes
extended the lead. This has been a great period for him offensively.
Davis, the pass to Reddick. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
Timeout.
Reddick's got his third bucket of the night.
And after a scoreless first quarter, he's finally finding the range here in the second.
And the Warriors decide to take their first timeout here.
J.J.Reddick, one of the best deep shooters in the NBA. He doesn't create his own shot for the most part, but he can hit a three from all spots and depths. He opens up so many options and space when he's on the floor.
Thompson misses. Clippers trail by 21. Crawford outside. Kicks it to Davis. Down low, here's Jackson, and that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. Davis has got 3 assists in the game. Golden State's gone 6 of 7 from long range tonight. They've been on fire from way outside. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Thompson. And Steve, for Reddick in his shooting, with the way that it is and an all-time demand in the NBA right now, you knew his free agency would be very interesting.
Yeah, it was, and you have to respect the decision that he ultimately made. He fits in well with the roster, and his three-point shooting is always useful, not to mention he's got a nice contract.
And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. Now here's Crawford. He has 5, and is out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Davis, and it's sent back by Bogut.
Really remarkable work by Bogut to send the shot back. Such a tremendous defender who really never rests on that end of the floor.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. That one on Jackson. Every so often, Steve, A.Iguodala will dial it back to when he was younger and remind you of what he once was. One of the best players in the NBA, one of the most athletic players in the league. Now he usually saves that for big moments or when the team needs him to be that kind of player.
You're so right. You remember last season when Kevin Durant went down? Iguodala played fantastic basketball in Durant's absence. You almost felt like Iguodala is holding back until he's needed the most. When you think of this Clipper team, you think of their offense, but they are a solid defensive group. One of the better defensive teams in the NBA last year. Offense gets the glory, but a lot of their wins come from their defensive effort.
And there's Jordan putting it right back in.
And DeAndre showing off yet again why he's one of the best rebounders in the league. If you don't box him out, he'll destroy you.
Here's Curry. Nice 4 for 7 from the floor with that shot. And for the Clippers and their defense, Steve, there isn't a lot that they are weak at as a unit. Very tough to give them matchup problems.
Yeah, it is. It starts with DeAndre Jordan. They have rim protection. Check that off. They have speed and length on the wings, and they can switch on defense. Very underrated this team is defensively.
Now here's Crawford. 5 points in the game, and the shot is long.
Trying to shoot his way out of this slump, but thus far, not working.
You know what? At some point, you have to decide. Do you keep pressing the issue, or do you focus on setting up others?
Now Reddick. He has 7. Outside Jordan. Goes up the baseline. No good. Still playing with the cold hand. Makes him just 1 for 8 out to the wing. Clark kicks to Bogut. Outside for Curry. Passes to Looney. Feeds it to Curry. Screen by Bogut. A three-pointer off the mark.
Well, he was in rhythm, hitting 2 threes in the opening quarter, but hasn't made one since.
Crawford's shot is good.
Crawford has been a solid outside shooter throughout his lengthy career. Got to at least get an arm up as he's going up.
Curry kicks to E.Udoh. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Amazing how he gets this one to go. Size doesn't matter.
But it can in the painted area. Regardless, he's crafty enough to get up a good shot.
This will be his 3rd free throw shot of the game.
And just a shade over 70% from the line a season ago. That's an area I'm sure he wants to improve.
A platoon swap here for the Clippers. And Steve, in your playing days, you always struck that balance, I always thought, between calling your own number and creating for teammates. That's a real gift.
It is, and I think the value of playing winning basketball, Kevin, is whatever play dictates making your teammates better or making the winning play. I think a lot of guys right now get caught up in stats. Whatever's the play to help your team win, that's the play that needs to be made.
Yeah, well said.
Well, the last few seasons haven't been easy for the Clippers. They've had some of their best teams, but are clearly a cut below from contending with the other heavy hitters in the West. You wonder if the window has closed on this team.
And the Clippers would look to stay in the picture, stay the course. You don't tear down a 50-win team.
You know, that's a hard decision, but they'll have to reevaluate with this new roster. It's a reshuffle, not a rebuild, but the West not getting any easier.
Griffin can't get it to go in. Warriors leading by 23. Griffin with the steal. To the right side. Here's Rivers. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin.
Griffin had a chance to score that one, but he saw a teammate wide open, so he kicked it to him for a nice one.
Curry with it. Picked up by Rivers and finished off by Bogut.
The execution on point. Just terrific timing on these passes.
You know what? Controlling the pace, being patient, great vision. We're seeing it all tonight.
Now here's Paul. He kicks to Rivers. Out to the right wing. The 11-footer. 51 seconds left to play here in the half. Nailed from three-point land. That's 7 points for Chris Paul.
And really, CP3 is so good at reading the defense. If he knows he's getting the pass and they're playing off him, he'll torch you.
Curry can't get it to go. Clippers trail by 20. Green kicks to Griffin. Inside. Knocked away. Iguodala outside. It's Curry outside. And the 3-ball is good. Curry's got 17.
And that gets him going here in the second after hitting 2 from long range in that first.
And again, Chris Paul for 3.
His second make from beyond the arc this quarter after hitting none in the first.
Clark dishes to Kerr. That will count. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. It's been all about Stephen Curry for the Golden State Warriors. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Alongside Steve Kerr and Coach, what is the offensive approach going to be in the second half?
Well, we just have to do what we do, move the ball and wear them down with our ball movement, our cutting, and our spacing, and set better screens, all the usual stuff.
Yeah, it always seems to work out for you in the long run. Thanks, Steve. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. Time for the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. The first half was all about Stephen Curry. He ended up with 17 points, 8 assists, and 1 steal. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
What a brilliant, unselfish half of basketball they just played. Their ball movement was absolutely impeccable. All in all, just beautiful basketball to watch.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on the Clippers?
They were brick city, and it was painful to watch. Weak shooting starts to get contagious, and they were struggling all over the place. They got to work on getting more high-quality chances, more layups, fewer prayers.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew, standing by courtside.
As we return to Oracle Arena, we get a glimpse of the commuters on BARTS, the public transportation system here in the Bay Area. Bay Area Rapid Transit. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the fourth quarters. Really an incredible game from Stephen Curry.
And let's see what the defense counters with to try and control him here in the second half.
Well, you like to run more doubles at him, but the risk there is opens up things for everybody else.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Warriors leading by 20. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Clay in the backcourt. Barnes and Green, the forward pair. And it's Bogut in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the Warriors' 5. And stolen by Jordan. Curry against Paul. Pass to Griffin. He dishes it to Jackson. Paul against Curry. Clock at 6. Paul passes to Griffin. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Griffin's got the first bucket of the third here for Los Angeles. Here's Curry. Blake Griffin pulls it in. Griffin's got his third rebound on the night. And Draymond Green picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul.
Second half just getting started. About a minute played. Jackson, that's a two-pointer. Good D by Barnes. Warriors leading by 18. Curry kicks to Green, and it's out of bounds, and they say last touch by Griffin.
And how about the reaction time on D there? Almost comes up with the pick.
You know, these are the little plays that can add up when you look over the course of a game.
They kick it out to Green, over Griffin, and there's Green on the assist by Curry. Curry's got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. Clippers trail by 20.
Yeah, and Steph Curry, you know, maybe not putting up the numbers he did from that impressive MVP campaign, but he is still one of the most feared players in the league on offense. And when he wants to, he can take over a game, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Now here's Jackson. Jordan dishes to Griffin. Green with the block.
Green really puts forth a ton of effort on the defensive side. Always a shot-blocking threat.
There's Curry, and another basket for Golden State.
Well, we know he's been confident with the shot. A big reason why they're ahead in this game.
And with Curry and his ability to put a team away in one quarter, Greg, it's absolutely incredible.
I mean, Curry just has that ability to end the game's competitiveness in a short span. What is amazing is he does so much and will often sit out the fourth quarter because of the lead he's helped to build.
And a look here at the shot chart for the Warriors.
Well, they say the mid-range game is a dying art form, but after looking at this shot chart, they are injecting a ton of life into it. Whatever space is being offered up to them in the mid-range, they have accepted and have continually knocked down shots to make the defense pay.
Now here's Griffin. He has 5. Outside, Reddick, 5 to shoot. Here's Paul. And that time, also a missed shot.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Paul with the steal. Here's Griffin. And he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Here's Barnes.
Way up there. Barnes taking flight there. Just a breathtaking player to watch with insane leaping ability.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Now here's Jackson. The pass to Griffin. Outside, Reddick. Now the dish to Jordan. Jackson from long range. That drops and it comes off an assist from Jordan. And that's now 7 points for Stephen Jackson. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Curry kicks to Thompson. Barnes outside. Warriors the rebound. Kerr. The long distance 3 is buried. Curry's got 25 points.
Had that one in his sights, too. His 5th triple of the game, second this half.
He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. And he's on his way to the free throw line.
When you are dealing with DeAndre, you just have to wrap him up sometimes and hope he misses, because he is one of the most powerful players in the league.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. On the free throw, no good. And last season, J.Jordan leading the league in field goal percentage. Not a surprise when almost all his shots or dunks are lay-in Steve from 2 feet away, but he converts them.
Yeah, he does. I mean, it's hard to deal with a guy with that type of size and his strength and mobility. He can put you on the poster if he gets a step at the rim, and he can shrug off the foul attempt once he gets close enough.
Here's Curry, following the basket by B.Griffin. Out to Thompson. They double-team Curry. And taken away by Paul. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
I know it has to be hard for defenders guarding Chris Paul. Very shifty and crafty. Knows how to draw fouls.
Well, Steve, when you think about leaders and players who mean as much for the mental game of their team as their coach, you know, Chris Paul right at the top of that list. He has always been a vocal floor general his whole career.
You're totally right. Paul is very aware of everything that is going on in a game. Can get in a teammate's face if they have a mental lapse. Not always an easy pill to swallow, but all players respect Chris Paul's leadership.
First one falls for him.
Chris Paul is a fun player to watch. Reason why? I love that he can shoot it, but he's one of the best passers in the history of the game.
Warriors leading by 21. Barnes screen on Jackson. Griffin with the steal. Now the Clippers moving it up.
Oh! That's what I'm talking about. Wow. That was nice. Griffin is just fearless. I mean, a guy who is not scared of anything. That was ridiculous.
The shot by Thompson, no good.
And that was an easy one there, just a missed opportunity.
If you give it to him, he'll take that shot every time down the floor. I'm sure he's kicking himself.
Now here's Jackson. He has 7. Right at the free throw line. Griffin's shot is off.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
The shot's good from Paul.
Timeout.
Because Chris Paul is a pass-first point guard, defenses play off him a little bit, which means he can usually get high percentage looks.
Timeout called the Warriors.
For DeAndre Jordan, he doesn't do a lot of things on the floor, but what he does do, he does extremely well in my opinion. One of the best dunkers and finishers inside. He's also a fantastic rebounder on both ends.
Different look here for the Warriors. F.Ezeli, he's checked in for Bogut. Lee comes in for Green. Iguodala is checked in for Harrison Barnes. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. You know, these are the guys you need to be aware of if you don't want your pocket picked. Here are last season's steals leaders. Number 1, Draymond Green. 3rd is C.Paul.
And with all the steals these two came away with, they probably put a thought in the back of every opponent's head, and it wasn't a very good thought.
The shot by Reddick, no good. And with Jordan, it's not a knock to say he doesn't do too much. You know, Steve, he knows exactly what he's got to do and how to execute it. He's very much a classic center.
Yeah, he is. He's a throwback center, and he stays within himself. But what he does at an elite level is rim protection, rebounding, and finishing.
And the wide open shot from Reddick. And there's Jordan putting it right back in. Jordan's got 4 points this quarter.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Thompson in the corner. Back to Livingston. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Livingston's got his second basket of the night.
We all know how lethal of a shooter Thompson is, but his passing is usually right on the money as well.
The shot by Jordan, no good.
And the play looked good there for a second, just couldn't finish.
Well, the pass has to be on point. Then the catch and flush just doesn't work out here.
Now, here's Thompson. He's got 10. Ezeli a screen. Thompson passes to Ezeli. Out to Lee. Just 4 to shoot. Stolen by Jackson. Step back shot, and he nails the jumper. Jackson's got 9 points.
And you can tell the defender not anticipating the step back. He was headed in the opposite direction.
Iguodala, right side. It's good. 10 points for him.
And that kind of sums up the defensive effort we've seen here tonight, guys.
Right wing. Here's Griffin. He can't get that one to fall. Good D by Lee.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Makes it off the glass. Livingston's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Yeah, well done to finish that one off.
And Reddick kicks to Jackson. And he feeds it to Griffin. Pass to Reddick. Dishes it to Jordan. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
He's a great shooter, but not just a gunner. J.J. finding the open man.
Looking to get back on track here. And it's laid up and in by Thompson.
Up by a bunch. He's still pushing the action, trying to impose his will.
With this big of a deficit in the score, you think the losing team would be playing harder. Nope, the opposite.
Now, here's Reddick. 7 points in the game. Here's Jordan. Here's Griffin. And at last, they get one to fall.
Timeout.
Griffin's got 8 points here in this quarter. Timeout called the Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to kind of regroup and discuss ways to maximize these possessions.
The reason why is you like to get value every time down the floor, but that does take a lot of discipline.
And it's a completely new group for Los Angeles. With the way the Warriors romped in the playoffs and how stacked their team is, Steve, is a team like Golden State or really any team this talented good for the NBA?
It's a question that was asked a lot last season and will get asked a lot this season. I love the way this team plays. I think they play with such greatness and unselfishness. All the other 29 teams, they just have to catch up.
Rivers dishes to E.Udoh. Back to Rivers. And the call will be against Shaun Livingston. That's his first foul.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Green against Iguodala. A floater.
And just marvelous work on the defensive side from Andre. So good at getting a hand up and contesting shots.
Good.
And just carrying over from his last game. Completely dialed in. You can sense his confidence.
I totally agree. Heat check after heat check. He realizes, man, I'm still hot.
Here's Smith after the made shot from K.Thompson. Collison, it's good. The assist that time from Smith. Collison's got his first basket. Warriors leading by 19 points. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Thompson, and another basket for Golden State.
These shots are the ones that separate Thompson from the rest of the pack. An elite shooter.
Thompson against Collison. Stolen by Thompson. Got it off in time. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
What a three at the horn as they end the quarter on a high note.
A little joke right at the buzzer.
And so it's the Golden State Warriors finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Back right after this. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. LA's gone 7 of 15 from three-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, the heart of the team at the 4 and the 5, Griffin and Jordan. Great handles in the backcourt with Paul and Crawford teaming up. And it's Barnes at the 3, the small forward. And it's blocked by Jordan. Barnes outside. There's the feed to Crawford. And Smitty, they say players are made in the summer, the off-season, when they can really work on things on their game. Especially these days, players will hire top-level trainers and coaches for individual work during the off-season.
You know, Kevin, I love it. The guys are putting in those emphasis on their bodies with trainers and coaches. But I know sometimes I've heard stories where the teams want you to work on this, maybe say your mid-range games, but then guys have these coaches are just working on their threes. So I think guys got to be careful just hiring anybody. You want to work on your game, but I think also it has to be a balance what the team wants and what you want.
Steve, I've heard that too, and I think teams are they like the work in the offseason, but it's got to be directed the right way.
Yes.
And if you're a part of a team in a long-term project, I think you've got to take the direction and follow the compass that your team is giving you.
Yeah, I think so, and I think a lot of times teams are getting upset because now you're seeing these individual coaches and trainers starting to come on NBA time, work out on NBA time, and I think that's when it started to become somewhat of a problem.
That's his fourth base. At the line for the Clippers, B.Griffin, 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
The Warriors' playoff run last season, pretty remarkable. Won their first 14 straight and finished 16-1. 14 straight wins, the longest playoff win streak in NBA history.
Now here's space. E.Udoh, the pass to Green. Bogut kicks to Barbosa. No good from outside.
Oh, you can tell he's frustrated to get that good of a look from 3, and he didn't make it.
Barnes dishes to Paul. Griffin sets the screen for Paul. Uses the glass to finish the layup. 15 points for B.Griffin. And you saw the stories about what sparked the Warriors' incredible playoff run last year, you know, from K.Thompson signing the toaster for a fan. Nonetheless, the team went on a huge run afterwards.
Yes, they did, going all the way, beating the Cavs in the Trilogy Series. Never underestimate a toaster.
And that one's good, Barnes.
That's outstanding decision-making there to change his shot and find an open teammate for an easy basket.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
Yeah, you need to refocus now. Momentum is running against you.
And from what I'm seeing, there's too many unfavorable matchups out there on the floor.
Now here is Barbosa. Green left side. Poked loose and taken away by Paul. Here we go, one-on-one. From 13, Barnes can't get it to go.
And this is a guy that can get you stops. Aggressive on the defensive end.
Also doing a good job of tracking the ball, contesting the mid-range jumper as well.
And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. And the Warriors with some changes. Harrison Barnes, he's checked in for Bogut. Thompson comes in for Leandro Barbosa. And Steph Curry subbed in for Maurice Spates. Now here's Paul. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Green with the ball. And Griffin picks him up defensively. Curry kicks to Green. And Curry, here we go. Steve, with the way Curry has transformed this Warrior team into perennial title contenders, the MVP awards and all the hardware, how soon is it before you start the conversation of where Steph Curry falls among the all-time greats?
Well, Kevin, I would love to start that conversation with most players when their career is over or close to being over. Curry has an unbelievable resume, but I will say, as of right now, I can say he's the best shooter of all time. NBA champion, multiple award-winning MVP. Now it's just about longevity for him.
And here is Curry after the three-pointer from Jamal Crawford. And there's Stephen Curry on the assist by Barnes. And it's 29 points for Steph Curry.
We got to play better defense on Stephen Curry. Too skilled.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Griffin's shot is good.
You know, he was a non-factor in that first half, but now he's making up for lost time.
Ball against Curry. The screen from Thompson. Curry passes to Barnes. His three-pointer's off the mark. Clippers trail by 17. Crawford kicks to Griffin. Ball against Curry. Paul is doubled. It's stolen by Green. And here we go. Fast break. Curry's got it. And it's Golden State with another.
Impressive work from Thompson. Hard for the defense to react on the catch and shoot.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. Over in the corner, Barnes. And it's off from three-point range. Warriors leading by 19 points. E.Udoh and the jam with E.Udoh.
And just a spectacular play from Iggy there. Seeing a path to the basket and just taking off towards the rim.
Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Paul kicks to Crawford. Jordan the screen. Paul against Curry. And it's Paul missing. Golden State's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. And the basket by Kerr. Curry's got 14 points here in the second half.
He is becoming dangerous from anywhere on the court.
Paul against Curry. Los Angeles with another miss.
Not sure of the thought process on that one. Really bad shot selection.
Well, you're playing for the team, not just yourself. They needed much better execution that trip down the floor.
And the Warriors making a change here. Bogut's checked in. J.J.Reddick's checked in for the Clippers. Here's Curry. And it's blocked by Jordan.
DeAndre Jordan is a force on defense. Tough to finish when he's lurking.
On defense, the Clippers. They double-team Kerr. Nice shot by Thompson. Thompson's got 23.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Here's Reddick. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Crawford with the ball. Guarded now by Barnes. Here's Paul. Paul missing again.
And you see why his reputation is so strong defensively. He allows no separation.
And so many defenses are not designed to take away the mid-range jumper, but he's given nothing away.
Crawford, no luck. And it's the Warriors' ball. A big stretch here going 10-2. Crawford with the steal. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Crawford leading the charge.
And he has starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
Warriors leading by 23. Green with a screen on Paul. Curry dishes to Green. And Green slams it in.
He's so creative in the pick-and-roll sets because he's a threat at passing the basketball, a phenomenal passer. He's the defense's worst nightmare.
Now here's Paul. And Smitty, at the start of just about every season, NBA officials are given new directives or points of emphasis for officiating. In fact, they don't call it POE anymore. They just have things to really make sure you're on top of for the layman. Are there any changes you'd like to see in the way the game is officiated?
Well, you know, I think one change, I like it where it is, and obviously continued freedom of movement because we want to see a free flow of games. But I would love to see, Kevin, an offensive rebound. Say your team gets the offensive rebound, the 24-second shot clock is not reset to 24, maybe to 14, and that could kind of speed the game up.
Now here's Paul after the miss from K.Thompson. Curry passes to A.Bogut and stolen by Jordan. Here's Paul. The top of the key jumper is on the mark.
Nice to see an assist by J.J.Reddick, showing he can be a good secondary playmaker at the off-guard spot.
Curry against Paul. Curry kicks to Green, and it's Green with the jam.
And not the prototype power forward, but he has tremendous athletic ability.
The Clippers have gone 7 of 16 from the field here in the fourth. That's about 43%. Crawford against Barnes. And it's Harrison-Barnes with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Man, it's close, but, you know, didn't get on balance quick enough.
A.Iguodala. He's checked in for A.Bogut. Stolen by Thompson. Green kicks to Curry. Well, every so often a team will have a home game and see their stadium flooded with fans for the away team. Happens when a especially good, popular team is playing a team kind of in a bad part of their schedule, or maybe just in a bad part of their development. Smitty, do players notice when this happens, and does it bother them at all?
Yeah, players notice it. It does bother you. It happened to me in the Chicago Bulls era. You're hearing people cheering more for Michael Jordan than their own players. It's because people love to see winners. People have their favorite players, and a lot of people right now look at it as they want to come see their favorite player. As a player, you just got to go out, beat Michael Jordan, go out and win, and usually the fans will turn into your favor.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Warriors.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year. The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Steph Curry.
And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone else on his team.
A.Bogut checked in for the Warriors. Paul against Curry. Left side, Griffin. Jordan the screen. Off the pick. And that one's good, Griffin.
And this run may make the score look a little more acceptable, but still a loss.
They could never put it together when it mattered. Just let too many opportunities slip through their fingers.
And just staying aggressive, continuing to extend that lead.
They left nothing to chance. This is how you close out.
On offense, here are the Clippers. Paul outside. Lobs it up for Jordan. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Timeout.
Some people have vision. Chris Paul has special vision on those passes.
Timeout called the Warriors. They're ahead by 25. 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
You know, I'm not sure why you call a timeout this late. I mean, the game is more or less over.
I'm not questioning that either, but he clearly hasn't given up on this one quite yet.
Curry outside. Good work defensively by Paul.
Yeah, blown opportunity after the two-man game creates a terrific look.
That's how it's drawn up. That is, everything but the finish.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Steph, everyone knows you do a lot of different things for this team, but what would you say your primary focus is?
Trying to just take responsibility of my defensive duties. Pushing the point guard, force them into different situations, difficult shots. Being our first, line of defense as they're bringing the ball up, putting pressure on them, and try to take them out their offense. That's a lot of great point guards in this league, so I got to be able to do that all year and try to get a good start to that this season.
That's what franchise players do, play at both ends. Thank you, Steph. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.